Alright guys, a bit of diplomacy this turn. We have, and it'll be up on the screen now, sort of made contact with the Arryns, or should I say the Baelish. Not Baelishes, because there's only one of them. But yeah, we've made contact with them. They're sort of, I don't imagine we can rely on them much. He hasn't exactly declared support. He hasn't declared not support in a very typically Baelish manner. I think the Vale of Arryn is going to sort of sit on the sidelines and wait it out a bit. Yeah, Martel, as you arrive in a turn or two, as another stack of Darks has left Yornwood under the Dark Star. I'll be gathering 3 galleys at Starfall, 1 war galley. Yep. All right. So, I think Yornwood's up north. Yeah, there he is. He's moved up here, so it'll take him like 2 turns to get up to there. And he has more troops down at Yornwood, which we'll send up as well. There's no point Martel having like any troops in Dawn at all, really, if he's loyal at least. There's no point in having any forces in Dawn because he has no enemies. Greyjoy's not a threat. Tyrell's not a threat. I'm not a threat. And there's no way anyone's getting past me with the ships. So Martel can just empty Dawn and send everything up to help. Ooh, hello. And he's forwarded off that, which is irritating. I might bribe that, actually. I mean, I've moved up my troops. I do have my diplomat, actually. How much would it cost me to bribe? Yeah, I've already done the mission for this turn. So next turn I might bribe that fort. If he keeps it with no general inside, it will be an easy task for me to do that. I'm sending him up there as well, just to scout out that. Strickland will hear, and he'll take ship from Storm's End in the next turn. Once these things are built, we'll build these, just in case. Yeah, he'll take ship from there. That's another 4 stack. Meanwhile, my fleet has moved up with the Tyrell's fleet, just to put some pressure on there, so we'll sail up. In theory, we like vastly outnumber Tommen's fleet, and should just be able to sail up and deal with this. Simple enough. We are losing about £1,000 a turn, which isn't too concerning, especially since we'd be losing like 3 or 4 fucking K, if not for the money from the Tyrells and the Martells, which is very helpful, which we've got for like another 6 or 7 turns. So yeah, that's about it. That is about it for this turn. Like, we'll go to the turn. Anyway, that's it for this turn. We'll move on. See what happens. All right, guys. Another bit of diplomacy. Actually, there's been a hell of a lot of diplomacy in this Hotseat, which is quite nice. Yeah. Yorn was out of the forward regions. I'll attack the rebels next turn. Move next King's Landing. Yeah, he has a bunch of money. All right. From Tyrell. Sorry about this one. I misunderstood you. Yeah, it's just about where Tarly is. Is actually the few units to support you in the forest near Aegon and Garland is next to Tumbleton with another stack, so we can move in from 2 turns. And from what I'm sending this, then Garland will be there. I also have Willis gathering a smaller force near Highgarden, or probably not mobilise north right away, unless I need to. That won't be ready for a few turns anyway. And lastly, one from the Greyjoys, who have, I've cleared it up, officially sort of sided with us. I don't know if they've done it publicly, but no, they haven't. I think he's in talks with Stark or something, or Stark believes he's allied with him or some shit. Anyway, to King Aegon Targaryen, King of the Andals, the R'hllor, the First Lords, blah 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 blah. Thank you for the titles. To my king, I am preparing to land at Seaguard with 2 reigning parties. Yeah, one is led by Harris Harlaw, and the other by Euron Greyjoy, the Mad and Heir. The Mad and Heir, nice titles. We shall take you what is ours by the iron price that enemies did before, blah 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 blah, and these Stannis was doing, blah blah blah. The Riverlands will be ours, and we will take these, I'm sure there are more important things to concern yourself with. I assume that meant, yeah, concern yourself with. For a second I read concerned. Oh, okay. Like taking the throne, wow, it was news from the south. House Throne Tommen? New house has been set up. How fares your war down there? I feel alone up here. Okay. I read most of that correctly, I think. It's not my fault. But yeah, the Greyjoys are essentially with us. They are attacking the Riverlands. They're attacking the Freys, because Frey hasn't publicly declared war for me. We're sort of in private talks, but at the same time, I'd rather have Greyjoy as an ally than I would Frey, so I don't really care if they fight each other. I'm just leaving them to their own devices, essentially. A happy Greyjoy is a lot more powerful than your average, anyone else, really. Slight snag with this fort. I cannot bribe it. I assume, because there is a princess inside of it, but I can't actually see the princess. The only reason I could think that we can't bribe the fort would be that there's a princess inside it. If you put any agent inside of a fort, it cannot be bribed at all. The option just isn't there, as you saw a moment ago. But yeah, we'll hang tight for now. Right there, they can't attack me. I've moved these guys up. I defeated a small fleet around here. It wasn't nothing worth mentioning, really. But I moved those guys up. Essentially, the idea is if there are any fleets in the area and they're stupid enough to attack it, then they'll instantly be in range of my stuff here. So it's a sort of a bait and switch. I want to see if he's stupid enough to attack. I've put Strickland on this, so we'll move up next turn. Probably lay siege to Stone Dance, or we'll go straight for Dragonstone, assuming that Stone Dance is usually a trap. It's never a good idea to lay siege to Stone Dance unless you've secured all of the ports in the Crown Lands. Because if you lay siege to this, and he can still move his, utilize his ships, then essentially he can send men over from the seas, and usually Stone Dance ends up killing you and getting defeated if you haven't got control of King's Landing's ports and Duskendale's ports. So yeah, I need to fucking neuter his fleet capabilities and go from there. For now, at least. Okay, yeah. I am in talks with the Lannisters. I'm trying my best to get the Lannisters to betray Tommen. So, they have agreed to send me money. I think they've agreed at this point to join me. It's just a matter of, it's just a matter of whether or not they actually pull the trigger when the time comes. But if we can get all of our forces here, get our fleet around, blockade this fort. That's the idea of how I'm getting into the Crown Lands. Essentially, I'm going to get my fleet to come around all the way around here, pick up my armies, which he can do the same for Tyrell's fleet as well. He can pick up Randall, and then ferry them across into the Crown Lands and attack from that way, because we're not getting across that bridge, because that's just not going to happen. It's not safe. We may as well wait a few turns and then ferry our men across. And if I can get Lannister to pull the trigger, I can get Lannister to move troops into the Crown Lands to help Tommen. And then when the time comes, Lannister can essentially open the gates of King's Landing for me. Which will be ironic as fuck, because of the last time the Lannisters opened the gates of King's Landing, it ended up with all the Targaryens being dead. Now it will end up with all of the Baratheons being dead. Which is Jaime and Tommen in there right now. Anyway, we'll go next turn. Hey guys, turn 7, and we've repositioned my forts a little, just to prevent any landing, and put them as close to the water as possible, so that when my fleet arrives, in like a turn, it's probably going to take me more than a turn, because I'm going to need to have movement points to cross, but when they arrive, I'll be able to ferry them across the waters, which is the idea, yeah. And Lannister, who I'm fairly certain is actually with us, I've got him to scout with his princesses any of the ports in the Crown Lands. So yeah, can see no ships in the Blackwater. As far as Duskendale, it must be Rook's Rest or Dragonstone. Yeah, oh, they aren't. Yeah, Rook's Rest is up there. So I've laid siege to Stone Dance. Fairly confident that the they don't have anything to harm me essentially. Tommen's fort is off there and there now, so even if we took that first fort, it's now blocked off. He doesn't need to do that, though, is the thing. That fort's meaningless, because King's Landing blocks it off by itself, so I'm not sure what he's doing there. Anyway, I sent my fleet straight above Stone Dance, right on the coast. Yeah, I've already joined him. Tyrell moves before me, so... Also, guard on the John Photos override the Kingswood, sorry. Right out of Tumberton with a full stack. That'll move up there, and we can get across the Blackwater when our boats arrive. He is... Where the hell is he, actually? Ah, there he is. Yeah, they're in the trees right now with Garland. So, those guys are in range. They'll take ship. Well, I'm thinking... once that fort disappears, he can fort up behind us, is the idea. So, that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Yornwood's army, which is 5. And then the Dark Star, which is 6. And I've sent the Dark Star just up towards Storm's End. In case that fails, and he tries to zerg the Stormlands, I want an army on hand, which will be Dane's army. So yeah, he's going this way past Storm's End rather than cutting straight up, which is handy. I, meanwhile, still don't have any other kids. It's just Ciri, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's all for now, basically. The Freys have been doing quite well, as far as everything's concerned. They're like getting their asses kicked, but they're putting up a hell of a fight for what it's worth. I mean, they're like beating back quite a bit. They're holding in there, at least. I don't know if they'll win. They probably won't. They're vastly outnumbered, but they are holding the hell in there. If we make it out of all this alive, I might have to keep Frey as my Warden of the... well, it's not even a Warden position, is it? My Lord Paramount of the Trident. So, yeah. Warden of the Rivers. Doesn't exactly... Yeah, I suppose it's okay. What did Rob call it? The Warden of the Northern Marches or something? He gave Blackfish a title. I'm not sure what it was. Anyway, moving on.